Look, ZZZ has some nice characters, and don't get me wrong, you already know who I appreciate. Fufu, as an example. Nekomata, my initial favorite character. She still is. I just, you know, she doesn't have much story relevance these days. She's not very buffed these days. Alice exists. So Nekomata's kind of falling out. But like, first off, Bunny, we all know how expensive it can be to pull for a new character, whether it's just them themselves or their signature weapon as well. So thank you to Top Live for sponsoring this video. Using the discount code of SAY, which is linked down below as well, you can get each of these bundles with a certain percentage off. SAY itself provides you with a 12% off, but everything here already operates under a discount. Top Live works as a middleman. Essentially, they allow you to purchase these packs which are already in-game at a cheaper discount than you would normally be able to get, from 25% off or up to 30% off, in this case at least. For those of you who want to max out your memberships, i.e. your monthly cards, you can get 5 at once. And for those of you who want the character but don't want to have to top up again and again and again, they do sell the guaranteed packs, which give you the pulls required of a total of 180. This means that you aren't excluding the first time top up bonus and you are only going to max pity. Of course, you can get lucky. Once again, thank you to Top Live for sponsoring this video. The bunny, she's very cute. I will, however, say I did not get the skin. The art for the skin, very cute. Approved, 10 out of 10. I like it. I just don't know. I don't like vibe with the design. First off, because like why? But second off, I'm not gonna lie. Like Alice, she's fun, but like I kind of appreciate the shorts she already has on. Like these are nice. I like them better. Not gonna lie though, if she rolls around again or if Anby rolls around again, I'm gonna pull dupes of them. Same thing with Fufu and same thing with probably Qingyi. I obviously pull dupes of Qingyi. And I will say I still prefer this cinema art over Fufu's. Fufu's, I think, a cuter character, but Qingyi has a very pretty mindscape art. Now, don't get me wrong, nothing's beating out Alice, but Alice has the downside of having big boobs. And that's a downside. I hope and pray that some of the initial launch standard characters get buffed, but that's a whole other unlikelihood. However, what I really think we need to focus on today is who has the best assets. Because there are a lot of characters, and don't get me wrong, I skipped a lot of characters. Now, I don't regret skipping Yuzuha. I liked her more after her story, but I also would like to state that it feels very weird for characters like Alice to not necessarily get the agent story, you know, in the video archive at least. Nekomata has one, Fufu has one as an example, and I know Anby has one, but like, so Alice doesn't, and Yuzuha. Maybe they'll add it later, maybe not, who knows, maybe I'm just stupid. With that being said, I think Juyeon got us started off with these pants here. They did a lot of heavy lifting, and I'm not going to lie, I don't like Juyeon. But secondarily speaking, I don't like her outfit. But third, no one uses her. Like, I think the biggest issue with Juyeon right now is that if you're going an ether slot, there are much better characters for you to use, who are much more flexible, which sucks. I obviously can't speak on Mindscape because I don't have that character. Just like I don't have a lot of those characters. Seed was a close consideration because first off, like the outfit, see-through, boob, bra. The bra's cute. Also, she got a nice ass. But like, let's be real here. I'm never gonna use her. So what was the point? Now, with this being said, I don't think anyone's going to deny Fufu. Like, yes, she's very cute. Yes, she has the thigh band. Yes, it's very squishy and the whole outfit is nice. And she is pretty flat. But like, the real attraction is like the butt. Let's be real. The butt is very nice. The tail is nice too. But I can understand individuals maybe saying, hey, you know, you got Qingyi who's doing it without the tail blocking the view. Qingyi already has midriff out. She has better cinema art. I got you on that. And Piper has midriff out and shorts. Like she's doing a lot. Underappreciated, Soukaku. Specifically speaking, the shorts. But like, that's not what we're here for. I want to ask, get opinions, gather thoughts on who you find to be extremely hot. Ignoring cinema arts, because I feel like you're gambling with cinema arts as to whether or not the game devs decide they like you in the moment. I obviously got shafted with Fufu, but hey, at least the other characters I like are really nice. With that being said, my preferred walk-around character is either Alice or Fufu. This is slightly because he always make a lot of noise. It's a minor issue, and I like the fact that it has a unique sound, but like, it is very noisy. I think Lucy still is extremely good for the cinema art she has on 1.0 roster. I think the design is nice. I really feel like she deserves an alt, not necessarily an alt character, but more specifically an alt skin. I am actually, and this is a side note, this is a tangent, I'm actually kind of offended that you have all these characters here, and some of them are very cute. Soukaku as an example. But the characters who get outfits, Astra gets an outfit, Ishran gets an outfit, Alice gets an outfit, Ellen gets an outfit, Yuzuha gets an outfit. Possibly maybe in the future, based on prophecies and dreams, Vivian might maybe be getting an outfit. All of these characters get outfits, but Fufu didn't. Neko didn't. Qingyi didn't. The robot, you have so many options with her. She's literally a robot. You have Billy as a baseline standpoint. Koleda didn't. Piper, Lucy. These are great characters, and obviously Lucy is a fan favorite. Even Nicole got an outfit for free, and none of the flatter characters did. None of the smaller ones. What is this? Bias. I'm aware we only get like one guy character every 5 years, but like still, who cares about them? I'm disappointed. Now, with all that being said, I will obviously be investing into Anby in the future. She is very fun. I just wish she dealt actual damage because, like, being blunt here, as somebody who plays her quite often, obviously my Anby isn't like hyper invested to the extent of my Fufu or Nekomata, but like she has decent ratio. She has her sake. And with this in mind, mind you, I play her with Astra. I play her with Fufu, with Qingyi. So I give her proper supports. Maybe not Trigger, but I don't like Trigger, so I'm not giving her Trigger. With that being said, it sucks to have Anby exist on your account and then subsequently be outright dog walked by Yanagi's existence. Because being blunt here, if you are a single target character, you suck 90% of the time. And I'm aware Anby has multi-target, but I'm also aware her multi-target skill can miss. Like, have you ever any Anby player can tell you this. If you throw out her skill and the boss maybe moves slightly back to the left, slightly to the right, or just decides to jump in that animation for some reason, guess what? Your skill missed. All that energy gone. You got absolutely nothing. Good luck. Good job. Retry. It sucks. And considering that Aftershock is a play style that, first off, Aftershock units in general, Fufu, Yuzuha, Vivian, to an extent, Astra Yao, and Trigger, these are characters that I personally don't find very fun. Obviously, I've skipped a decent chunk of them. Obviously, I like Fufu, but there's no active play. If I'm talking about gameplay-wise, I prefer Qingyi to Fufu. But Fufu's very cute, so you know. I think Aftershock there's no real reason to hyper invest into, like, being blunt here, the options you have are slim to begin with, and making an Aftershock team doesn't really feel as worthwhile as making an Anomaly or a Disorder team. That's kind of the issue. Aftershock units obviously benefit from being paired with each other, but if your main Aftershock DPS, Soldier Zero Anby, is bad, why would you do it? I'm aware I went off on a tangent here. I like Sanbi's stomach. Like, okay, here's the thing. Sanbi has side boob, she has armpit, she has thighs. I'm not gonna lie, the tummy window, very nice. However, I would like to say base Anby has midriff and it's just out in the open. So like base Anby wins, but Anby has an overall better design. Now the real question is, why do they look like Yishuan? Like I understand it's just white hair, but like it gets a little bit tiring when you get white hair, alt of white hair, and then you get Soldier 11. Now don't get me wrong, I understand the relevancy and relation there, but like still, it's a samey design, which is clearly why we deserve an alt where Anby dyes her hair black or something like that, and I would wholeheartedly approve. I would like to say the one regret on my account that I have is probably pulling me like this. Okay, look, first off, guys, miHoYo is not invested well. I don't like this character. I don't use this character. In case you couldn't tell, so I regret her. I would have spent my pulls elsewhere, like on Qingyi or any other character, realistically speaking. Either way, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.